Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey and today we are going to be working on part 2 of the Orchard Town entrance. And just like the previous video, we are going to be doing a lot of flattening. We are going to be doing again the areas where we are going to be putting all the trees and push a little bit more beyond compared with the previous video, and we are gonna actually do a little bit of the initial decorating of this area. But first of all, I hope that you guys are having an awesome week. We are in the final week, the final days of 2022, and I'm thankful that you guys are here spending the time with me watching this video. I don't know if this will be the very last one of 2022 before 2023 or if there will be one more. I'm gonna try to do one last video of 2022, but if not, I will see you guys in 2023. And who's excited? I think Dinkum is gonna grow a lot in 2023 and I can't wait for it. All right, so just like the previous video, right now it's gonna be a lot of cleaning up the area. The last couple days, every downtime that I had at home or at work in my break and lunchtime, I was on the Steam Deck and I was just gathering resources, going to the next day and gathering resources, and that was all I concentrated on. And I made enough so I can have grass, so we can have our concrete, and just a couple other little things that we can start using towards this build. So off camera, I done a few tests of ways that I want to do and what kind of fences I kind of want to start doing around this build. And the first one, I did try the brick, then I tried the new stone one. I did try like the white picketed fence, and none of them were hitting me right. So like always, it seems like I'm gonna be using one of my favorite, and it's gonna be the hedges once again. And kind of at the end of the video, we're gonna see that I started mixing, and if you've been following my videos, you know one of my favorite combinations has been to using the hedges with the iron fence, and that combination, there's something about it, it's really good. And for the builds that I've been doing, it just hit right. The other ones are great, and I think what I have to do is design something around those fences, and that's where my mindset has to go, because it seems a lot of the things that I'm building, they're not matching, and I think that's something I'm gonna have to work on, is try to build something in the future that is gonna match with that in mind. But right now, one of the things that I needed to do was, and you saw it at first, is when I was playing around, I noticed that I needed to move all these lights one more square to the left, because when I was going to put the hedges, it was going to go over the sidewalk that we're going to put eventually on the side. So and that's what I did, a little bit of testing off camera, because that way in my downtime, when I needed a break from gathering resources, sometimes I do play around, so that way when I'm ready to make the build, I kind of have a little bit more of an idea what I want to do, and then from there we can just continue doing stuff in the process, like right now. So we ended up moving those a little more to the left. Eventually I do kind of move them again, so give you a little bit of heads up, I do move them again and kind of make them more together and make more of a pathway so we can go in. But I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of my time, so let's backtrack. So right now, right here, I'm making the main road. So the idea is, if every island has the main dock where we arrive, right? I'm hoping in the future James is gonna be doing something with that. Maybe when we visit people's islands, we land there and then we gotta walk our way towards our town. And so this road is gonna lead towards that dock. That's why it's in the middle, and it's gonna lead towards the dock, and the dock leads all the way towards the town hall, towards the center of the island. And then one side we have half of the orchard, and the other half we have, and the other side we have the other half. Okay, so right here I'm moving the same thing. The lights that we put in on the previous video, I'm gonna ahead and moving one more to the side, and I need to do the hedges once again. And all this area, we need to put the greener grass. And I do have a lot of cleanup to do. There's a lot of the yellow grass that I have even in other areas still in my town center and all that I've been changing. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to do that completely. I may leave some areas with the yellow grass, because this section where we at is not the forest and it's not the tropics, and it technically the biome it calls for this grass. So in my mind, what I'm envisioning is, oh, okay, so the orchard will be more green because it's the orchard, right? We're gonna put, I have an idea how to do sprinklers with the orchard, and I kind of did a little test run and it looked good. So when we get to that point to do it, and I believe that will be hopefully the next video, because at the end of this one we didn't get to do that, so hopefully we get to do that on the next one. And I'm still building a couple more sprinklers that I need, so I am concentrating that now, so that way on the next video we can actually put some on. And so the way my mind works is like, okay, so if this area doesn't call for this type of grass, but it's greener than the other one, so I kind of wanted to make a sense, and it's because there's like extra water, like it's being watered down because we have a system, and we put in water towards the orchard so we can have all this lush and all that. But where water is not hitting it, then it's just a little dry, bare, and the yellow grass. And that's kind of my thinking to justify why this section is green, why the other one is yellow, and because I always try to approach these builds with a little more realistic, right? There's amazing creators out there that the way they create things is it blows my mind, but in their islands it works just great, but I cannot see some of those builds in my island because I don't know, it's like my mind kind of wants to work more realistic and not unrealistic, and hopefully that makes sense. And that's why my builds may not be so like out there or really like crazy. It's just because I don't know, like I need things to make sense, and that's how my mind works. So a lot of the builds that we are going to be doing, and even in size or space or anything like that, I needed to feel like a little realistic, like my roads, you know, and my walkways, you know, they're either 3 or 2. I could make them 1, but if I think of the tractor, or if I think like of if in the future we have a Jeep or anything like that, because I know we got the motorcycles right now, but imagine if we had a Jeep that we can use, then I want a Jeep to fit in the road, kind of like what we have with the tractor. And that's how kind of I measure the roads is with the tractor. And so in the future, if we have more vehicles, we can go ahead and use them. And right now, one of the main projects for me is we are just doing the big layout, right? We put in the roads, we put in where we think things are gonna go in the future. And then as we get more updates, we getting more items, we are gonna go ahead and then come back to a lot of those areas and rework those areas and adding the new stuff that we get. But yeah, so if you're wondering why my island doesn't have like anything different or crazy or anything like that, it's because I love seeing those creators, but I need mine to make a little more. I'm going towards the realistic aspect of the build. Okay, so right now we're still doing the pattern, and basically it's the same pattern that we did in the previous video. We're just flipping it and then doing it the opposite way. And that was a little hard because I do have it in my notebook right here in front of me, but I had to think the other way. So as I was building this, I was like, oh man, this is like just my mind just is doesn't want to compute it. And then I had this idea. So if you make a pattern like this, right, you can either take it to your computer or take a picture. What I did was I took a picture of the paper that I had, and you know when you go to edit a picture and then you, instead of not rotating it in a circle, but like you can flip it and then everything is like in the opposite side. And once I did that, oh, it helped so much, because I was able to now have the pattern that I need already there, and then I just needed to follow along. And then if I ever need to put it on the back side, then you can just flip it the other way, now where the front now is facing the back, but everything's falling the proper way. And then if you need it for the other side, you just flip it again. So it's a little tip, it's a little trick. So if you're ever making a pattern that you know you need to make, and it's a big one and you need to make it on the other side, either you can take also a picture of your screen, take a picture of it, and then take it to your editing in your phone and just flip it, and then you will have it facing the way that you need it to face, and it's great. And it helped me so much, and I was able to speed up a little bit of the build. So on this back side, I did have a situation, and you're gonna see it. I was off by 1 square, but I didn't realize it until I was almost done. And then you're gonna see that I had to take almost half of the back side off again, so I can redo it so it can be falling in the correct way. So just a little heads up. So when you're counting, even though I felt like I was counting really good, it did not. I was off by 1 square, so I needed to, refix it, and you're gonna see that here. And that's why this little back section took a little longer, because I was off. The good thing, since I knew I was off and I found out where, so it was just literally putting 1 square in front of the other one, put it in, and dig the other one out and pick it up. Do it again, and just doing it that way. But if you're following this along, once again, a little tip is, if you didn't see the previous video, is don't forget, in YouTube, just mute the volume, and you can slow down the video, and you can put it in I forgot how slow you can put it. You can put it pretty slow. Go ahead and put your own music, and go ahead and hit play and follow along. Hit pause wherever you need it, so you can either follow it step by step, or you can, if you're writing it down on a notebook, then you can write how many spaces are in between each square. And yeah, so and I'm hope that you guys are enjoying this video. I know these ones are not the most exciting, because especially like in the beginning, it was just still cleaning the area and putting things away. So, and at one point I was planning to take all the grass off, and then it hit me, you know what, I can do that off camera, and we can just move on to another part of this build. And we're gonna end up doing that way. I don't keep you guys just watching me just digging all this grass out of the way. I know I heard a great tip, I believe was from Rips Gaming, and if you guys have not seen his channel, he does amazing Dinkum builds, like really creative, humongous. He has built stadiums and tennis courts, and like he's gone all out in his island. So if just look him up on YouTube, he's gonna appear as soon as you type Dinkum. He's great, but he gave a really great tip in one of his stream, that if you have a tractor and you have a lot of grass, just run the tractor. It'll take off the grass, and then you can sleep multiple days in a row, and it'll go ahead and then it'll be all clean. So I've not been able to try it. I don't have a tractor yet. I'm working towards the helicopter at the moment, so we can have a helicopter in the future. But yeah, that's just a little tips. And if you haven't seen his channel, go check him out. He's great, and you will also get inspiration from there. Okay, and so here is when I noticed like my enter is not falling correctly, and I was like, I don't get it. And so I went back, and I'm checking and I'm looking, and nothing is falling where it's supposed to fall, especially on the side entrance. It's not where it needs to be. So I knew I already did something wrong. So I needed to find where, and I was hoping, please don't let it be all from the very beginning, because I was like, okay, and I'm rechecking the picture that I had, so I'm counting, and I'm like, okay, so far everything's good. So it was more the halfway point that way, somewhere around here, and that's when I kind of noticed, and we fixed it. And right here you can tell that it's not falling where it needs to, and I knew there was something wrong. So I'm gonna be recounting again, checking on the other just to see, and I miscounted the way I did the curve, and I think it was I missed one more, and once I did that one more, it started pushing everything where it needed to be, and that's when I just needed to push almost every other square back one space, I believe. And yeah, so that was like my big mistake of this night. I was like, oh man, and that's why I didn't do as much more that I wanted. I did have plans to do more on this video, but it just took a long time. But yeah, okay, so as he's fixing this and all that, let's go ahead and talk. Okay, so couple things. I don't know if you guys noticed, but James, the Dinkum dev, the developer of the game, actually left a comment on one of our videos, and I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. He watched a video and he was great. He said he's been enjoying the videos. And I was just like, I was truly honored that he actually took his time out of his busy schedule, and he left a comment. And you know, and I don't know, I even right now I don't have words to describe that feeling. It was really such an honor, you know, that he came, he watched the video, he left a comment, and you know, and yeah, to end the year with the developer of the game actually commenting is truly an honor. And all that truly, it was possible because all of you guys that are watching the video, that are hitting like, that are subscribing, you know, leaving wonderful comments, you know, all that stuff, they help. And I guess in the algorithm, my channel appeared and he was able to see it. So even though it was such an honor that he actually stopped by and watched videos, all that's possible because you guys, I mean, and I'm being honest, because you guys are here, you guys are watching this video, you guys are hitting like, you guys are commenting, you guys are subscribing, and because of that, he stopped, you know, and it got me kind of nervous because, you know, some in the previous videos in the past, as you guys are following, you know, I mentioned like, you know, if James ever see this video, you know, maybe he hears some of the ideas that we are throwing out there, or what we would like, or how far are we pushing the game, right? So yeah, so that was big. And then I got a great input from another that left off a comment, and he said that the volume has not been as great for the video. He said that he has to raise it so much so when the next video appears, it just goes really loud. He was really great. He left a great comment, laughing emoji at the end. So and I'm gonna work on that. And I'm grateful that he actually was letting me know that, because I want you guys to enjoy this video. I want you guys to have good audio and all of that, right? And so hopefully this one that you guys are listening to is a little better. And as we continue to do more videos, I'm hoping to get better and better at it, and especially in the volume level. I've been reading about it, I've been watching about it, and it's just, you just gotta find that place with the microphone that you have and all that. So I'm hoping that this one sounds better. But and other things, if you guys have any other suggestions that I can do on my end to keep improving the videos, to give you the content that you want, just leave them out, put them there. I'm gonna read them, and if there's something possible that I can do, hey, let's make it happen, right? But yeah, those two, and again, I've had other comments that you guys keep leaving, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them. the encouragement behind it, and that you guys are waiting to see this build happen. And it really is always an honor that you guys are here and watching. Okay, so let's get back to the build, right? Let's talk about what we're doing. All right, so I finally fixed all that mistake that it happened, and so it's done. And once again, let me encourage you guys that if that happens, and if you guys are building something, and don't be discouraged. Let's make it work. Let's make it happen. Let's get back. Don't worry. Sometimes when you take something out, it comes out better the next time. So mistakes happens, you know. And this is not my first one. I've done plenty in the past, plenty off camera, and sometimes, you know, I'm doing some gameplay, nothing come out right, so I just didn't even save the game. I just restart it all over again. So that's part of it. So don't be ever discouraged if something doesn't come out the right way. Let's just regroup and redo it again. But what I'm trying to do now is, I know that I'm gonna have another row going on the ends of this orchard, right? That are also gonna lead to other sections of the islands. But I wanna make this space. So right here, what I'm trying to do is plan and kind of visualize it. So instead of putting all the grass that I just collected all over the place right now, I'm kind of like saving it so I can make the outline that I want, so I can see where things are placing. So when I go to the next day, I can see how the map is evolving. And then I'm hoping during the next couple days, I'm gonna be doing another massive grind for materials for, you know, for here. But yeah, so I'm saving the grass. So I'm trying to calculate exactly how far the last thing. So I decided, okay, I want to go probably 2, because then I know I'm gonna put a sidewalk, and then from the sidewalk we're gonna have the road. And once I did that, then I decided, okay, I wanna then refix kind of a little bit of the front of the lights. And I knew I want to close out this section because I just don't want it to be river, just the river and an edge. So I wanted to put the rest of the hedges right here. And so that way I can kind of visualize one fully completed hedges all the way around, the entryways to come in and out. And that's what I'm doing. So right now we're just doing kind of the skeleton of it. So, and we still haven't got to the point to plant the trees yet, because that's gonna be the big thing, right? That's what's gonna start making it feel full. That's what's gonna start making it feel more together. So here, it was all green, right? It was all hedges, and I was like, it's just too much, the hedges for me. And like, okay, this is an orchard, but it's not just an orchard. It's the entrance. It's supposed to be elegant. It's supposed to be something that people can go and maybe what I'm trying to do is now an orchard that is functional, but at the same time it's kind of like a park, and or maybe has a sitting area. And I'm still trying to envision that in my head and play around with that idea. But since this is kind of like also part of the town entrance, and people are, you know, using the road, we're going through here, so I want it to be a little more than just hedges. And so of course it's one of my favorite combinations is the iron fence and the hedges. And this is when I started working, and then I started placing it. I didn't want to do like I've been doing in other sections of the island, that you put one iron and then hedge, iron and hedge, iron and hedge. So what I did was I started just working with the corners. I wanted to see what the corners look like, because it's kind of like it gives it that feel of that corner, like it's like industrial or more elegant, like when you go to a park. You know, a lot of the parks have entryways that are, you know, with columns and columns and stuff like that, but then the rest is open, or there's a hedge, or there's bushes making kind of like a fence or a tree line. And that's what my vision started to develop as I'm working on this section. And then I was like, okay, so I started looking for pictures of orchards online. And, you know, I just went to Google and I went ahead and started doing just researching orchards. And there's like many types of orchard, many types of layout, but there's some of them that people can go and pick, right? And it's kind of like a big thing, and they got like this nice pathing through the trees, and they got like places where people can grab boxes and pick their fruit. And I saw that idea. I was like, okay, I kind of want to make that, because then that kind of will go with the park theme at the same time. So the idea is, and hopefully that's gonna be kind of mostly of the next video, is we're gonna be prepping the area. We're gonna hopefully start planting the trees. We're gonna do some of the crates. We're gonna start putting crates. We're gonna do some of the sprinkler system in specific places, and we're gonna start making that layout now happen, and we're gonna start evolving. And I'm excited. I'm excited because that picture of that place where people go and pay and they go and pick fruit and all that, it looked really cool, and that really started pushing this build to become more than just an orchard or more than just fruit trees with a design. So now I kind of want to have this pathing that we put in right here, and I want to find a couple places for benches. I want to find places to put the crates, and maybe and a couple more other things, but that's gonna be next video. But hey, we made it once again to the end of the video, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more video, and we're gonna see you next time. All right, see you later. Bye.